What's going on, everybody? Welcome for the next installment in the series of History 202. So we're going to talk about the midterm and the final exam. Both these are going to be they're going to be essay. One will be short-ish essay. The other one will be much longer. And I'll kind of dive into it a little bit. So the midterm itself, because I think it's easy to sneak through the cracks in a class that's online where you sort of guess your way to, like a quiz, for example, of, getting the right answer. Well, I need a little more cognitive dissonance and understanding the concepts with you actually writing it out and giving me your responses. So part of that's going to be a midterm rundown. It's worth 200 points, about 20% of your grade. So between the two exam and the midterm is 40%. It's almost half your grade, so make sure you're paying attention to that. I'm going to ask you 8 questions. Of those 8 questions, you have to answer 4 of them. So you pick the top 4 questions you feel comfortable answering, and then you write up 1 to 2 paragraphs on it. I will say this. I highly recommend that you do at least 2 paragraphs. The more you write, the more points I can give you. The brevity is not something we're looking for in a short answer or essay. Okay, so excuse me, in a short answer, it's fine to be have brevity, but in this situation, you need to make sure you write as much as possible. So keep that in mind. The same will be similar for the final exam, also worth 20% of your grade. And I'm going to ask you 4 questions, but you're going to have to answer 2 of them. Now, these are going to be more like 4 to 5 paragraphs each. And again, feel free to go over that to get out your ideas and your concepts. So a couple things to consider too is you got to understand the assignment. Make sure you read the questions. Sometimes people will ask a question about the Civil War and they'll start talking about something else. Keep on topic of what I asked of you. Make sure you understand that and you're forming your thesis around that question. Consider the significance of the material. So I'm not asking you to memorize things, but make sure that you're paying attention to what you're assigned and you're doing the readings so that you can pull from that historical text and primary and secondary sources and make sure you can use those in your essay. And then lastly, 2 more things. Construct an argument in support of your thesis. So make sure that if you have a thesis, make sure you're following up with that thesis with, clear points. So I recommend, you make sure you have it at least at the end or the beginning so I can kind of read and see what you're trying to back up. So the biggest thing, though, is you're not in high school anymore. Well, some of you are. You're taking a college level course. I'm not concerned with what. I don't want to know what the American Civil War was. I want to know why the American Civil War. So if you can answer why, that shows a certain level of mastery to anything. So that's going to be the focus of things when I do things. I'll be asking a lot of why questions. Make sure that you can answer those. So there's a little the final exam and the midterm, we've got like a little rubric that you can go through and take a look at. Take a glance at that, and any questions or comments about that, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you later this week.